Yes, established clinic in the park now for many, many years. It's one of the innovative programs trying to engage community in a park setting, which is the title of this topic, promoting physical activity via a park-based health clinic, whereas Darren is the service superintendent for the community in the city of Irvine. I know that I understand their presentation is split, so I'm going to start with Phyllis, and then I'm going to bring up Darren right after. Okay, you can either move on with the arrow or just go enter.
This part?
Yeah.
Okay, up, let's go back one.
Oops, am I going forward? No, sorry, I'm going. Ooh. Okay.
No, start at the beginning.
There's not the beginning?
No. It's okay. Actually, while he's finding the beginning for me, I'm a Mac person, not a PC, so stand by. Well, I just want to introduce Dr. Dan Cooper, who's our chair of the Department of Pediatrics at UCI and the director of the Institute for Clinical and Translational Sciences here at UCI. And he's really a driving force behind all of this. Even though I think I am older than he is, he's been a mentor to me for many years. So, Dan, you want to take a run around? Stand up. Stand up. Are you that tired you can't stand up again?
I want to hear your talk.
Oh, okay, okay. Well, we created a clinic at the park that's actually tomorrow, and I have a couple of brochures, from 10 to 2 at the Orange County Great Park Farmers Market. And the idea came in 2011 when the carousel was free and the balloon, have any of you been to the Great Park, Orange County Great Park? And the balloon was free, and there were maybe 5,000 or 10,000 families on a weekend coming to take advantage of these freebies. And some of the kids, we would hang out around there, had not been out of their communities, and those that rode up 500 feet on the helium balloon had never seen Orange County from high up. However, we've recognized the need while we're still there, and that's our hub. We're going into satellite communities, and Santa Ana and Madison Park, and thank you for mentioning, is a great partner. And Dan, who's going to talk to you shortly, has the exercise component of what we're doing at the park. So it's really a health collaborative of community, academic, public and private organizations providing health and wellness services. Our mission is to connect, screen, and educate. And our vision, obviously, is using public space for health and optimizing the health of children and their families. How many of you have ever gone to a park and had an opportunity to learn community CPR? Well, you can come. How many of you have ever had the opportunity to talk to a child passenger safety technician and find out that your kid's not in the age-appropriate car seat in a park? Okay, how many of you have met Dr. Sandra Murray, our child abuse pediatrician here at UCI, who talked to you about not only back to sleep, but get all the stuff out of the crib? Okay. So this is an innovative idea and a model that's replicable, and we are transporting it to other communities where you can come to a farmer's market and you can get the added, quote, health benefits. And then with Darren's innovation, you can also exercise in a little bit more space than here in this room, as Candace and Arlene showed you, and also have fun. That's critical. Now, this is a faculty disclosure that I use. I have nothing to disclose. I get no money from anyone who's questionable. But the reason I put this up is very interesting. We have, everyone here's clinic in the park. They can come and they can sell their goods. Well, I've had questionable vendors asking to join. For example, and I won't mention specific names, a company called up and they're going to offer free heart screening blood test, and which will tell you your risk of having a heart attack within the next 5 years. So a member of our group said, oh, would you go to their lab and tour it? I said, no, but if you want to, you can. So he went to the lab, he toured it, he had a blood test done, he gets a letter, you're at high risk for having a heart attack in 5 years. So he calls me up, he says, what should I do? I said, I don't know, the test isn't evidence-based, good. And so the whole point is we use American Academy of Pediatrics guidelines. We have an advisory board of doctors and other health professionals, and you can't just walk in and offer your wares. So that's my faculty disclosure. No, you can't just come. Okay. And this shows you some of the things we do. Some of the kids are getting free booster seats after they get a measurement of their height and weight and a little nutrition counseling. And if they're age appropriate for the booster seat, we'll give them a booster seat. I think this is my grandson here learning how to brush his teeth with Healthy Smiles. We bus kids in from Title I schools to enjoy the activity and come along with their parents. And we do a lot of health screenings. And then during enrollment for Covered California, we've had Catholic Charities and the Raise Foundation actually initiate the enrollment process for Covered California, SNAP, the food stamp program, and other public benefit programs. So there's a lot of activity. Our goals are access to health services and community-based settings, and then to provide a venue where our collaborators can come out of their houses or out of their silos and have a collective effect in providing one-stop shop for health services. And the model is replicable. And this just lists the different screening services that we have. How many of you have gone to a park and had a flu shot? Unexpectedly. Well, when I told my granddaughter, oh, we're gonna give flu shots, she says, you gotta be kidding, you can't do that. That's not fair. So that's another benefit. We have the early literacy program. Did you know you should start reading to babies soon after they're born to promote literacy? Well, they're there and they give free books to kids to promote the messages of early literacy. This just shows Liz Perez, who's a child passenger safety tech and who does our car seat discussion, hands-on installation if people need it, and helps with the booster seat program. And then some of the comments you can just sort of look through. We also have a farm adventure tour where they can see hydroponic gardening and socks, which you can ask me about later, but it's new techniques for gardening that you don't necessarily need soil or a big backyard, and you can do it on your front porch. But one of the comments down at the bottom, it was great meeting. Do you know who Bobby Grich is? Oh, you do? Very good. Okay. It's a generational thing. Bobby, you're laughing. Bobby Grich was an all-star second baseman on the Angels and in the Hall of Fame, I don't know, 16 times or something like that. So I have some funding from the Angels Foundation for car seats, for booster seats for kids. And then they had a speakers bureau. So I said, I want a speaker. So I filled out the form, and it was a time we were busing in kids from Title I Elementary School in Tustin. So Bobby Grich came, so I thought, oh, I better read up on him, know all his stats and all that. And he did our health chat. Well, these kids didn't know who Bobby Grich was, but he had an Angels uniform, and he talked baseball, and he talked about his mother wouldn't let him out of the house without breakfast every morning and a healthy breakfast. And then he went on the field and played with the kids, and they loved it, and Darren helped facilitate that. So these are some of the things, the events that we have and the comments we get. This shows the kids coming off the school bus. We had to feed them healthy food. Our dietitian got the stuff from the school district. The garden, they get fresh produce. And then this is, I mentioned Sandy Murray and Safe Sleep. We have over here the good crib, bad crib, like get not only back to sleep, but get all the stuff out of the crib and know the kid will not be lonesome if there's nothing in the crib, the kid's sleeping. Well, you'd be surprised what parents think or say. And the whole thing about co-sleeping. A mom said to Dr. Murray, oh, I had my first kid in a crib, but the second one, I just thought he should sleep with me. And Sandy said, well, you're lucky nothing happened, because co-sleeping suffocation's a concern to us. Okay, then we want to talk about the benefits of a clinic in a park using public space. And parks are now part of the healthcare delivery system, as you've heard with the Madison Park Neighborhood Association programs. And then Darren offers through the city of Irvine teaching kids basic skills out on the meadow while their parents may be talking to the doctors or doing, learning other things. And the concept that we've all talked about is you don't need a big field to exercise and move. So if you want to get up and run around the room, you can, but. Okay, what? Yeah. What'd you say?
We'll sing for you.
Will you? That was great. You had a mark at that. Okay, and here's a collage we made of Bobby Grich, and he was signing autographs, and he went out on the field. I actually, Darren got tennis balls and Nerf balls, and Grich said, "Don't pitch me a tennis ball, only a Nerf ball." But it was just exciting, and to have someone, you know, they didn't necessarily have to know who he was, but to advocate exercise and say how important it is. And then these are some of the activities that our partners do. And I'm going to turn it over to Darren. He's going to talk about his part here.